Woo. Dude, it freaking fits. Whoever said minivans aren't cool. Hello, welcome to my channel. Just a little update for you. Next week I'm going to Trestle Bike Park. I'm really stoked about this. I watched some videos of that place. Looks pretty rad. I'm gonna be there a couple of days and doing a road trip, so I'm getting all my stuff ready. Got some sleeping pad, packing up my stuff, just getting it ready for the trip. Before I go, I want to do a quick little video here of showing you all the different configurations of the MTB Hopper Coach Pack that I have. I've actually been using it for coaching because I just, you know, randomly teach people when they want to learn some skills and stuff like that. It's kind of fun thing I do on the side. So yeah, let's get to that and do that little clip. And I think that might be the last bit of video I actually get in here before I leave for my trip. I might actually be able to get another video in before I leave, but I highly doubt it. But I did create an Instagram account, which I will link. So if you want to follow my trip, I will be posting random little posts on Instagram, and I will do as much GoPro filming as I can do while I'm on the trip. And then once I get back here in town, I'll use my nice computer to edit some video and have some cool videos from Trestle. But I just don't think I'm going to be able to do that while I'm on my trip. I just don't have the capacity or the computing power or anything like that, because the laptop I have just isn't quite up to the task of making videos. It does do okay, but it's a pain in the butt. I'd rather be on my nice high-end computer at home. Anyway, enough babbling. I tend to babble. I think you all know that by now. All right, let's get to checking out this MTB Hopper. It's pretty cool, all the configurations, and the last jump I'll do, I'm gonna set up and show that you can actually make a big gap jump with it. Let's get to it. Oh my God, I'm just suffering out here. Like, we had storms come through, lots of rain, and then now the sun came out and it's super humid and it's getting hot. I haven't even started to do anything and I'm sweating, so this will be fun. So let's just start with this first configuration. So this is the beginner setting, and I have it in the lowest setting here, and I'll go ahead and jump this and kind of show you how it works. that was pretty crappy. Could hit it with more speed here. So the nice thing about this is that it has this little downside, so if somebody comes off of it, it's not like an immediate drop. You can actually roll it. It's pretty cool. So then what I'm gonna do is set it up so it's even more of a launch. So we'll just go all the way up. I don't need to increment one at a time. But you have like 3 different settings, or four settings. So there you go. You can see this is a little steeper. This is a bit more of a kicker. And we'll try that. Oh yeah. That definitely provides more pop. So The next one I want to show you is how to do ramp to ramp with these low settings, and then we'll keep going bigger after that. Okay, so here's ramp to ramp, kind of like a little table. So if the rider doesn't make it, they can kind of case on this if needed. It moves a little bit, but it won't cause any issues. So this is really close together, but we're doing this as if you're like the ultimate beginner and you want to learn how to jump a little table. So that's how that works. And what you can see here is that when I'm teaching, is I start to be able to teach like the proper motions and control on the bike, like how you come off the launch and then how you shift the bike to make the landing. So it's pretty cool for teaching. And then what we can do is we can start to space this stuff out and actually create a pretty low consequence gap jump. So here we've got it set up as a gap. One thing I want to make sure is that it's lined up. It's pretty close. Could probably do a little better job, but this isn't far enough for me to really worry about it. Let's see that again in slow motion. Okay, there, what's interesting in the slow motion is you can see that I wasn't fully committed to pulling up really hard, because you can see my fork unspring as soon as my front wheel comes off. And the reason for that is because this just isn't that far of a distance. If I was fully committed to pulling up off that and going as far as I could, I would clear this landing. So but yeah, this gap is really sweet when you can start teaching people how to actually do gaps and not be afraid, and you can start close together and gradually move them apart until they get to their max distance. This actually, you won't find many beginners even do this distance. Usually I have them pretty much close together or touching. So let's go ahead and set this up with even the bigger setting, and you'll see what it looks like. So this right here is actually the launch by itself, and I hate launching to flat landing, so I'm just gonna link you to the video where I set this up and launched into a nice grass downside landing. And I did this extension, and then I did the even bigger extension where I made the orange section make this even bigger yet. But what I'm going to show you today is how to go ramp to ramp with this setup. It's pretty cool. Okay, here it's set up ramp to ramp with the tabletop insert. For me, this distance is really close. Like it's not a lot a distance to cover there, but I'll show you at a slower speed jumping from ramp to ramp. And again, for the ultimate beginner, this is perfect. I mean, really teaches them the transitions. And this is in its highest setting. Just for the sake of time, I didn't start in the lower settings and slowly build it up. But you can see on these legs here, there's slots, and you can have it lower or higher or whatever you want to do. So I'm going to go ahead and show you this, and then we'll go bigger. I was even going a little too fast for that, but this is a good thing to teach the idea of pulling up and trying to go higher and then nose diving in rather than trying to go for distance, which is the one thing I need to work on more. I'm getting better at it, but the more that I practice, the better I get, and I have a ways to go. So let's go ahead and set this up how I like to, with a gap. And I don't even know if this was intended to be used this way. I haven't seen any drawings or anything of it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the legs on here, and then that'll allow me to create a gap and then I can launch, and then this becomes more of a case pad in case I don't quite make the distance. Now you can see that I can start gapping it out. I have a case pad, launch here, land there. Pretty sweet. Let's do it. So I overshot that quite a bit. My front wheel landed probably on that bottom piece. So let me do this again, and I'll try to get more pop and come in with more of a nosedive landing. I'm definitely gonna say that wasn't really more pop. That was me just as soon as I went off, I went for the landing. The reason why I'm struggling is this just really isn't that wide of a distance. So let's widen the gap. So you'll notice that now as we get to a point where I'm widening this gap, I like to take extra precaution, shin pads, things like that. I'm gonna put gloves on because I'm sweating and I can hardly hold on to the grips anymore. So now you know the level of riding that I need to get to before I'm like, yeah, I should probably pad up a little bit more. So for measurement's sake, take my bike, if we go ramp to ramp, it's pretty much the length of my bike from tire to tire. So let's do it. Well, I still feel like I overshot it a little. So I think that means we gotta make it in a little further. Now what do we got? The length of my bike plus about a foot. Sure it's lined up. All right. Yeah. Oh yeah. There we go. I actually felt like I had to put an effort into it. Cool. Let's go ahead and put the chest mount on and get another angle of this. Sweet, there we go. All the different configurations of the MTB Hopper, at least doing ramp to ramp. And then I linked to just using one side and then even adding the orange bit as additional lip to really make a big kicker. So you can go ahead and watch that video if you want to see that, because there I have a nice grass downside. So yeah, I'm pretty stoked about this thing. It was expensive, but it's, you know, I teach with it. I really like it. It's really well designed. I mean, I have to give this, whatever the company is that makes the MTB Hopper, unless MTB Hopper is the company, a lot of credit for how they designed this, and they've even come out with some newer ones. I think they're constantly improving on this, but this is dope. I like it. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Yeah. Oh yeah.